So today, I don't reveal the topic, you know very well, but let me take you with the problem first, and then I'll give the solution with it. What is that tool? So everyone, Linux or FT is smooth way. I hope you're good. How you're good in Linux. Very good, Dinesh. Yeah. So let us start today's class with some problem. Okay. And we already discussed in our overview of the tools, right? In a few days back, we learned about the overview of the tools, right? So which tool will be used for which purpose? And I have already taught you about this tool already a little bit. What is the purpose of it? But as on that day, most of the people didn't join. For that reason, let me go and talk about that again. Okay. Okay, Nana. So assume that customer has given the project. Customer has given the what? Project. So customer has given the project. You know very well about the SDLC. I'm not talking about all those SDLC and all. And directly, let's talk about the developers. Assume that we have developer 1. Who is here? Developer 1. Let me put it here. Developer 1, developer 2, and then developer 3. Can you tell me, is it only one developer will be developing the code or multiple developers? So I call it as here developer 1, and then here we have developer 2, and then here we have developer 3. So customer has given the project, and I'm the manager. I gave the, so here who is here? Poor guy? Manager. Who is here? Yes. Innocent guy. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay, I'm innocent guy here. Yeah, Sumalika, see, I remember Sumalika, she's saying yes, you're innocent. Yeah, fine. So what I've given is, I have given the requirement to the developers, and these are all Java developers. It can be any developers. It can be Java developers, it can be .NET, or it can be Python Boost developers. But I assume that these are all what developers? Java developers. So what is developer 1, developer 2, developer 3 is, I have given the project to these developers, and they're developing their own modules. What they're developing? Own modules. I call it as module 1, and this guy is developing what? Module 2, and this guy is developing what? Module 3. And here, everyone, let me take the names here. Who is developer here? Jaya. Developer 2. Sad. Is W? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Sad. Okay. So we have Dinesh. So these are the 3 developers that we have. I have given the project to these 3 people, and they are working hard day and night. Day and night they're working. Right? Jaya is working on Java code day and night, for loops, if loops, right? Oh, Bhayana code she's writing day and night. And then she's doing for, let's say, for almost 1 month now. Everyone is doing it for 1 month. And all of a sudden, what happens is, I asked, as a manager, I asked, hey, Jaya and Sad, right? Yeah. So Jaya, show me your code. And Jaya said, yes, sir, I can show my code. So I have done a lot of work. So whenever she opened the laptop, what happened to the laptop? Laptop crashed. Laptop, what did I hear? Laptop crashed. Just imagine if you are in that situation. You are in the situation but for so many months, and end of the day you are giving the project to your manager. By the time you open the laptop, your laptop got crashed. Entire code is gone. How do I react? Can you tell me? If this is my face, I have a little bit big eyes. Yeah. So this is, oh, this looks very okay. Terrible. Yes or no? As Hussein said. So when she, because I have given her so many months time, and they have done the project, they have done the coding, but end of the day, did they deliver to me? So myself itself have this kind of face. How about the customer? How about the customer? He was waiting very eagerly for so many months. And end of, let's say, 3-4 months, I went to the customer and said, customer, surprise, we have lost the code. You just imagine if you're that situation, right? So now tell me, is it good to keep the code in your local laptops? Is it good to keep the code in local machine? Say that. Answer is online, everyone. Today. Answer is big no. 1000% no. So now, so there is a need to keep this code somewhere else apart from local machine. So I'm writing here. So there is a need to keep this code somewhere else. Where? So directly you're going to GitHub. Okay, right? So yeah, of course, what you're saying is correct. So whatever the code that we are developing, we should not put it in our local machine, but definitely we need to put it into remote place. Is it good to keep it in our local machine? No. Somewhere we need to keep it in one remote server, right? And then what happens if the remote server also goes down? So here the whole concept is about versions. What's that? Do you remember in S3 we learned about versions? In S3 we have learned, right? We have learned about versions. That meaning whenever you do the update on a particular file, a new versions will be created. So just in case if I lose the file, definitely I'll be having the version or not. It's nothing but backup. It's nothing but what? Backup. Sir, in your yeah, correct. Yeah, but I need to use that word, no? Yeah. Okay. So what we need is here we need something called version control system. Yes or no? Yes or no? Say that word. Version control system. Online. Say that word. No? We need what here? Version control system. We call it as VCS. Say that here. VCS. So we need something called version control system. That meaning whatever the code that developers or any person's develop it, we need to take a backup and they need to have what? Versions. Just in case, let's say assume Jayash, you are developing some code, a huge 1000-line codes, and then you kept it ready, error-free code. Some junior came and then somewhere instead of putting A, he put B. Now tell me the code will work. To find out that it will take a lot of time. So that meaning he has put the code instead of A and he put it B and he saved it. I'm telling it small change, but assume that you have done some big changes. Is it possible to revert it back? Not possible, right? So for that reason, if you have the backup of your current version, that means your backup is nothing but version. What's that here? Version. If you have a version, whatever the changes that he had done, he will create a new version of it. But your old version with original code will be there or not? It will be there. So here we call it as version control system. Say that version control system. So here, why we need, right? Why VCS? Why we need VCS, version control system? What's the purpose? Can you tell me now? Why we need version control system? For backup and restore, main thing. What is it here? Backup and restore and collaboration, say that. Collaboration meaning, so we need to, let's say two developers are working with each other. They need to collaborate with each other or not? So developer one is developing some code, developer two is developing another code, and they need to maintain their own versions or not? So the collaboration is important or not? And also, do you remember in our overview we learned about branching concept? Guys, online. Master branch, right? Own branch. Remember online people. So we, don't worry, I'll be teaching about the branching also in this. But the thing is, if you remember, we have branching concept. So just to tell you about branching. Now, let's say here is Jaya, Saad, Dinesh, all these people are developing the code. And they will keep the code in one place. Let's say central some repository. Where? Some repository. And now some other people have started developing the code. Is it good to keep the same code again to overlap the original code? Is it good to overlap, or is it good to replace the code? Right? Just in case if something goes bad, your entire code is gone or not. So for that reason, our developers, we have a concept called master branch. Say that. Master branch meaning where it has the clean code. What's that? Clean code. Okay, now we have the clean code. So now these developers will develop the code. Is it good to push the code to the master branch directly? All big team leaders, they have cleaned the code, they have error-free the code, and they kept it in the master branch. All these small developers, is it good to push their master code to the master branch? For that reason, they create their own branch. And they will be working in the branch. And when they are working there in their own branch, is there any effect in my master branch? Answer is no. So for that reason, they create their own branch. Once they are done with it, they will merge with the master branch. What the word I'm using here? Say that. Remember, we use a word and we said PR, pull request. So we will create a pull request or merge request here to the team lead. Team lead will check that your code, junior developer code is correct or not. Then only merge will happen to the master branch. So here we have what concept? Branching and merging concept. You understand? Whenever we heard about VCS, what's the full form of VCS? Version control system, right? Why we need VCS? For backups, for restoring purpose, for collaboration purpose, for branching purpose, for merging purpose, and also tracking purpose or not? Tracking the changes. Very important. What's that? Tracking the changes. Understood? Karthik. Two Kartiks. Online, understood? Let's go slowly. Is it clear? Why you need VCS? You know, understood what is version control system? Using this version control systems, we can maintain all these things. So, guys, there are different types of version control systems. We call it as, say that, local version control system. Say that, na? Local version control systems. We call it as LVS. Sorry, LVCS. Okay. And then we call it as centralized version control system. And this one is called CVCS. And then distributed version control system. What is this called? DVCS. Read with me, guys, here. How many types are there here? How many types of VCS are there? 3 types. What are those? Say that. Local version control system, centralized version control system, distributed version control system. So we need to know about local, central spelling wrong. So local, central, distributed. When I say this, people worry about the spelling mistake all the time. Huh? Centralized version control system. So LVCS, CVCS, and then what is here? DVCS. Okay. So what is this version control system? If someone asks what is version control system, I'll say that. So VCS help track and manage changes to software code or other files, enabling multiple users to collaborate efficiently on the same project. If someone asks, what is version control system? What is version control system? You can proudly say this is the definition. Say that, read it. VCS help track and manage changes to whom? Software code or any other files, enabling multiple users to collaborate efficiently on the same project. So developer 1, developer 2, developer 3, they develop their own code. So they need to collaborate or not? Module 1, module 2, module 3 should be get collaborated, and the code should not be same and different. And how do they manage these multiple things in the same project? Using VCS. Got it online? Using what here? VCS. So now let us talk about local version control system, centralized version control system, and distributed version control system. Before I go in there, so online, is this clear everyone? So let's go for here local version control system. LVCS. Super. As the name clearly says, what is the name? Read it. Local. Remember, local meaning danger. Local meaning what? Danger. So, yeah, I know. So, local meaning here, as always says, it is danger. So, previously, everything was started with this local version control system. Now, here, Jaya and all these developers, they are working in their own laptop, in their own local machine. Say that? Local machine. So, here, in your local machine, you are working on the multiple files. But do you have any versioning before? No, right? If you're just working on one file, and then if you save the file, you don't have the versioning. But using local version control system, you got a version control system in your local machine. So there are different softwares are available. We call it as CVCS. We will talk about it. Source code, we will talk about it. So here in local version control system, if you take your local computer, this is your local computer. In your local computer, you have your working directory or not? Working directory meaning where you're working in your laptop. Say that. See this word. Say this word. Working directory. Say this online, put it in the chat because this word is very important in this tool. Working directory. Say that. Working directory. Working directory meaning the directory where you're working. It can be desktop, it can be some folder, it can be some directory. So here we have the working directory. So you have a tools called CVCS and RCS, very old tools. What it is helping is you are working on this directory, and the tools here they are maintaining the version database. Was it here? Version database. Version database. So here what they have here version 1, right? And then what they're having version 2. Whenever you're modifying the files, it is creating multiple versions. Version 3, version 4, and everything. And what are you doing now? Whatever the things that you are doing in your working directory, what you're doing, you are committing it. So say the word commit. Say that word. Say the word commit. What's that? Commit. So whatever that you have in your local laptop, you're committing it. So this is LVCS, that means local version control system. Everything is in your local computer. But what happens if your this entire thing goes down? Problem or not? That is the concept of what here? Local version control system. So here I'll write nicely. In LVCS, entire code is in where? Local computer. If local computer crashed, entire code is what? Gone. Entire code is gone. And for this, examples of local VCS is CVCS and RCS. So here on olden days, we used to have these tools. What are those tools here? Do you worry about the tools? Tell me, do you worry about these tools? CVCS and RCS. We don't worry about the tools. Don't even think about the tools at all. Because are we using this LVCS concept, local version concept? 100% no. This was initially way back so many years. That was which one? First one here, local version control system. So can you tell me, will this be useful for you? Answer is yes or no. Online? No. Because what happened if this goes down, everything is gone. So for that reason, we got another concept called, what one is that? Centralized version control system. CVCS. Correct, Dinesh. CVCS. Now you tell me, in this case, so this is, I think, guys, for Git also I'm painting diagrams. Huh? Crazy, no? For DevOps also I'm drawing diagrams. So here, okay. So here we have multiple computers. Computer A, computer B, computer C. It can be your laptop also, it can be your multiple things. Okay. So this is Jaya's computer. Whose computer is this? Correct. Correct with it. Self-explanatory. Jaya computer. Or Jaya laptop. What computer? Jaya laptop. And this one is whose laptop? Dinesh laptop. And this is our Sat's laptop. One is you there. Sat's laptop. So they have their own working directory or not? Yes or no? They have their own working directories. So here they have their own working directory. So they have their own working directory. Now tell me, is it good to store? Previously, they are storing the code in their local machine. That is called local version control system. Now, is it good to save the code, store the code, versions, things, everything in the local? No. So they are now going to where? Remote. That meaning centralized version. Was it here? Dinesh, directory meaning here folder. So because as we are using Linux here mostly, in Linux, is it good to call folder or directory? Directory. That's why we call it is here working directory. Okay, now see here. So we have here central repository. Say that here. This is central repository. This is central repository. Okay. And this central repository has the version database. What it has a version. And all the versions are saved here in central repository. Version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, like this. So previously, all these versions are storing in the local computer. Now these versions are stored in the central repository. Where it is storing in the central repository. What this developer doing is, this developer Jaya, Dinesh, are these people, whatever the code they are doing it, so every time they are committing, what they are using, commit. Every time they are what they are doing, commit. So they are commit. So they are committing in the local laptop, so they are committing to the central repository. Central repository. Listen carefully. See, commit. Commit. And they get, and by the way, so let's say for example, whatever the Dinesh has created some files, everything is in central repository or not. And what they need to do, they need to pull. That meaning they will get updates from here. So guys, in this case, definitely they need to have all the time connection with the central repository or not. What happened if internet is gone? Tell me. What happened if the internet is gone? Or what happened? Where is your code? The whole code is in where? In local or remote? If this goes down, what will happen? Gone or not? Online cities. Yes or no? Gone or not? Yes, Dinesh, separate created. Tata, bye bye. Yeah, correct. So here, do you see this here in this code? So in this CVCS, all the code is present in the central repository. If the central repository crashed, that means entire code is gone or not. And also in this concept, in centralized concept, you need to connect all the time to the central repository and only get it. If there is no connection, do you have the data anymore in your local laptops? No. So you are mainly dependent on the central repository. Is it good or bad? Good or bad? Right? In CVS, all code is available in remote repository. Okay. So if central repo is crashed, entire code is gone. Entire code is gone. So in CVCS, you can connect to central repo and update only when you have network. Otherwise, no. And for this, examples are for this concept. So examples are, we have a concept CVS is there, Perforce is there, subversion, right? So there are so many tools are available for this concept, right? This is called centralized version control system. Online. So let me quickly see here what are the things that we have learned. So here, what we did, you know this concept, it's not at all good to have your code in your local machine, because if your local machine crashed, your entire code is gone. For that reason, what we need version control system. So because we need to control the entire versions, whatever that you created or not. So for that, what we have different types of version control systems. What are those? Local version control systems, centralized version control systems, and then distributed version control system. So local version control systems meaning what? Everything, whatever the tool that you have installed in your laptop, they are managing the version inside your laptop only. They are managing the versions inside your laptop only. So if that goes wrong, that was similarly like before only, no? Before what you're doing, you are working on your local laptop. If local laptop crashes, all your data is gone. Similarly, they are using the tool, but the tool is maintaining the versions, but still in your local laptop. If that just in case if that goes down, entire thing is gone. But that isn't what you thought is to keep your code separated from your local laptop. And where did you put it? You put it into the central repository. What is the tools that you have used for the central repository? Perforce is there, and then what you have? Subversion. Subversion is a very famous. We used to do this before. In this centralized version control system, do you have the code in your local laptop? No. All the code is present in where in a central repository. So you need to maintain the central repository or not, just in case something goes wrong with the central repository. All the data is gone or not. And also you need to have continuously network connection to your central repository. This is what centralized version control system. Now what is the problem here? If your central repository goes down, your local laptop doesn't have the code. Can you tell me? How do you want now? I told you the problems. How do you want now? What is the problem with centralized? Right? All the data is stored in the central repository. Do you have the code in your local laptop? Yes or no? No. Now tell me, how do you want now? You need multiple repositories? Okay. So that means store the code here in multiple repositories. Okay. But you don't want to have the code in your laptop? You want or you don't want? But if the central repository caches? Got it? So if central repository caches, still the code should be there in your laptop also. This is called distributed version control system. What is it done here? Distribution. Understood the clear difference between? So it is very hard to find out the differences. So I'm just putting it right. So here in this centralized version control system, we cannot have the code in your local laptops. But in distributed, you can have both on central repository also and in your local laptop. That concept is called what? Distributed. Distributed meaning your code is distributed in remote also. Your code is distributed in your local also. Just in case if remote is down, you have local. If the local is down, you have remote. Got the point? All engineers got the point? Super. You guys are super. So what concept is this here? For this finally we have distributed version control system. So in this distribution version control system, if we take this bigger one, so I've already saved it for you. I'll just to save the time. Yeah. See now here. This is distributed version control system. So what it is, see, this is computer A. That meaning you can say computer also, you can say laptop also. Whose laptop is this? Jaya laptop. Whose laptop here? Jaya laptop. And this one is Dinesh laptop. Okay. Now, so in this Jaya laptop, you have your working directory, and Dinesh also has a working directory. Now listen carefully online. So Jaya has her working directory, and Dinesh also has his own working directory. They're developing the code. And what they're doing is, in locally, what they're doing, they are committing it and they're updating everything where? In local. In local also, you have what? Versions. So they're maintaining everything local as a versions here. For this, we need to have some tool or not. Whatever the code that you're working in the working directory, version should be created or not. And which is the tool that is maintaining all these versions? And the tool name is Git. And the tool name is what? Git. The full form of Git is Global Information Tracker. What's that? Global Information Tracker. Git. G-I-T. Understood? So what is the tool that will be installing in your laptop? Git is a tool. Right? So Git is a tool that you need to install on your laptop. So and that Git will help you to maintain the versions. Maintain the what versions. And similarly, this is their laptop. In their laptop, what you need to install? Git. And Dinesh also, he need to install what? Git. So using Git, what he's doing, whatever that he's doing in the working directory, what he need to do? He need to commit, I need to update to the Git repository, into the local repository. What you need to use the concept here? Local repository. What's the word? Local repository. Say that? Local repository. So I'll be telling about how to add, how to do it, but just learn as a layman language first. Then I'll introduce all the topics. So here, whatever the Jaya is doing, what she needs to do, she need to commit or add the entire data or code to whom? Local repository. Okay, now your entire code is in local repository or not? No. Is it good to keep that in local repository? Now what I need to do now? Keep it in central repository. Keep it in where? Central repository. And that central repository, keep it meaning here we call it as push. What we use here word? Push. What we use word? Push. So whatever the code that you have in your local repository need to be pushed to central repository. And this central repository we call it as GitHub. Many people has the confusion between Git and GitHub. So Git is the one which you are using in your local laptop. GitHub meaning this is a centralized repository. No. GitHub is a cloud-based. Can I set up one server and install Git there also, create a repository, pull and push can also be done. But what happens if this is a server and this goes down? Is it good to that we manage? Is it good to that we manage the central repository? No. For that reason, we use what? GitHub, which is managed by GitHub itself. It's a cloud-based. Central repository is in the cloud. We create a repository and what we need to do? Push it. Create a repository and then push it. Getting it? Right? So fantastic. So now tell me, this GitHub will go down. Definitely no. How AWS is handling the cloud for us? So GitHub will never go down. Just in case if it goes down also, they make it up. But I've never seen going it goes down because more than 95% of the companies are using what? GitHub. They're using GitHub. So okay, just in case if this goes down also, where is your code? In local machine. Once this is GitHub, what do you do? Push the code again. Push pull. Say that. Push pull. Say that. Push pull. Push pull. Push meaning what? From local to remote. Pull meaning what? Remote to local. Getting it? We call it as git to pull, git to push, git to pull. Git to push, git to pull. Okay. So not only Jaya, everyone can do the pull and push or not? Yes or no? Now tell me. Here, Jaya, need to push a or commit a in local repository. So here I use a concept called ACP, sir. What is that? Say that everyone. ACP. What is ACP? What is the general meaning of ACP? Assistant Commissioner Police. ACP, sir. But to make you remember, I'm just giving a hint. So every person, every developer need to remember this ACP. ACP meaning whatever that you are doing in the working directory. ACP author. Okay. So whatever that you are doing in the working directory, what you need to do? First you need to add. Say that. A meaning add. C meaning commit. And then P meaning push. That is all ACP. Add, commit, push. Three you should never forget, because whatever that you're doing in your laptop, first what you need to do? You need to add. Say that. First you need to add. What do you need to do? Say that. Add. Add to whom? To your repository. You need to add. So generally by default, it will not be tracking your code. It is used for what purpose? Now, what is the full form? Git Global Information Tracker. What's that? Now let's say Saad, you have your directory. All the Java files are there. By default, Git is tracking that? No. By default, what do you need to do? Git is tracking that? No. You need to tell, hey Git, I am in my folder directory. Please track my files. So I'll tell you, there is a small command called Git Init. We'll talk about it. First, you do Git Init. Once you do Git Init, that meaning whatever in the directory that you're doing, everything is tracked by whom? Git. Whatever you modify in the file, you say, hey, this is not tracked. So what you need to do is, you need to track meaning you need to add it to the Git. What do you need to do? Add it to the Git. Once you add, you need to commit to your local repository. What do you need to do now? Commit. So add, commit to, they both should be inside your local laptop. And push meaning here, where? Remote. Push meaning here, what home? Remote. Remote meaning which one here? GitHub. That's why you cannot directly commit without add. Remember, you cannot directly push also. The order is very important. That's why I said ACP. But what you need to do? Add. Next, commit. Next, push. Remember ACP. Without add, you cannot commit. Without add, you cannot push. Without commit, you cannot push. Without add, commit, you cannot push. That's why ACP is very important. Online is this clear? Different version meaning different. What is it? Different version meaning different codes for multiple developers. Yes, Harshit. Okay, now is this clear? We'll talk more about that. So I'm just hinting. I'm just slowly injecting the terminology in your brains. Okay. So now in DVCS, where in DVCS, entire code is available where? In remote repository. Okay. So entire code is available where? In the repository. And a copy of the entire code is also where? Is also available in local repository. Okay. If remote repo is crashed, we still have what? Local copy. Yes or no? So, and do we need network connection continuously? No need, no. So no need to have a continue network. To whom? To remote repo. Then instead of saying repository, I'm using a word called repo. What's that? Repo, because that is in real time they use repo. Okay. So while pushing, only while pushing the code to remote, we need what? Network. Without network, can you push the code to remote? Only while pushing the code. Once you finish working in your local computer, once you're done with it, then only we need to push the code to the remote. Then only we need to have internet. Until then, we don't need internet and network. So everything we can develop in our local laptops. What do you know? So for this, you know the best example what we are using here is Git tool. What is it here? Git is there. Bazaar. What is that? Bazaar tool is there. There are two different tools are there in online people, right? And then Mercurial is also there. There are so many. We don't worry about it, right? So yeah, Fossil. There are so many tools there, but which is the most commonly used? Mercury is there, and also we have Darks is there. There's so many tools are available. Out of these tools, which one is the most commonly used tool? Git. Sir, how do you know, sir? Google Trends. I showed you, no? Right? So I showed you in our overview the live in Google Trends that Git is the most commonly used tool. You understand the difference between multiple version control systems now? So local, central, distributed. Online, clear enough? Yes. Okay. Super. So now I have already introduced you to the Git. Now you all understood what is the purpose of using Git now? Why we got Git? What is the purpose? What is the use? What is the background? Clear? So I'm not the person you know, right? So directly taking the tool and start teaching it. No, we need to have the reason of why we need to use it. Okay. So Git. What's the full form of Git now? Global Information Tracker. So can I say Git is a version control system? Say yes or no? Git is a version control system. So Git is a version control system. So can we also say Git is a source code management? Say that. Source code management. Source code management, we call it as SCM. Say that. Source code management, where you are storing the code is called source code management. Where are you storing all the code? So Git is called source code management. And also Git is a DevOps tool used for SCM. So this also the people will ask in interview, which is the source code management tool that you are using it? What you should say? Git. And can you tell me who invented this Git? Who invented Linux? What is the person name? Student name. What is the student name? Linus Torvalds. I mean, Linus Torvalds, not towards Torvalds, right? Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds is the guy who invented Linux. The same guy invented Git also. Remember that, okay? So, what's the name? Read. Say with your mouth. Linus created Git in 2005. and 2005, and maintained by, there's a guy called Unio, Junio. We call it Junio, but we should call Unio, right? So there's initially he created Linus Torvald created, and later maintained and managed by Unio. But I'm not writing all these big Unio, all the author names here, because in interview no one will ask who is maintained by all these things here. Okay. Okay. So in 1972, guys, just to save the time. So okay, let me use this. Yeah. See, Git is a version control system, and Git is also called as a source code management. And Git is a DevOps tool used for what? Source code management. And who created this? Linus. Now in 1972, where in 1972, I told you that initially we had a source code control system, that is LCS. Do you see? SCCS. That was launched in where in 1972. Initially, it came in 1972, and that was source code control system where they are able to track how many files? Only one file. Is it good to track only one file? Later, we got here RCS. RCS meaning revision control system. Say that? Revision control system where it is tracking multiple files, but how many directories? Only one directory. Useful or not? Not useful. And later we got CVS, which is concurrent version system, where they're tracking multiple files, multiple directories, but for how many years? Sufficient, not sufficient. And then later we got what? SVN, subversion, right? Whereas in 2000, they came up with multiple files, multiple directories, and multiple users. And latestly, what we have in 2005, when I started my career. I started my career here in somewhere in 2005 or 4. Infosys. I was there, right? So in 2005, what is the tool that we got here? Git. Now, can we say Git is used to track the files or not? Yes or no? Say. It is used to track the files, and it will maintain multiple versions of the same file or not. So you have one file index.html, and multiple times you modified. Remember in S3, multiple times if you have uploaded, same file is created multiple versions or not. Similarly here also, if you have only one file and if you have modified 10 times, how many versions will be created? 10 versions will be created. So here, and it is platform independent, and it is free and open source. What's that here? Free and open source. And it is written in which language? C programming. It came in 2005. So the main purpose of the Git is what? To track the code and who made the changes and coding collaboration. So tracking code changes, tracking who made the changes, right? And then coding collaborations. Yeah. Just now we have learned about centralized version control system and then distributed version control system. In centralized, all the data, all the code is stored in single repository. What is the example that we used? Subversion. But whereas in distributed version control system, stores the codes in multiple repositories. Which one here? Example, Git. So now alternates of Git is here. Mercurial, Subversion, which is from Apache, so Perforce, Bazaar, right? And then Fossil, and then Team Foundation version control, Bitkeeper, Plastic ACM. Like there are so many, but don't worry about all these things. Yeah, Bitbucket, right? And but out of all this, which is the tool that we need to concentrate on? Git. Online, no? Is this clear till here, everyone? The history of Git, the purpose of Git. What is the use of Git? CCTV. GitHub Somalika. Okay. So here, Git is free and open source. Yes or no? Git is free and open source. GitLab is different. GitLab also will work as a source code management, but GitLab has a DevOps pipeline, DevOps technologies. That is different. Right? GitHub is different, GitLab is different, but both will work mostly as a source code management. But GitHub is mostly used for source code management, and GitLab is mostly used for DevOps inbuilt pipelines. Okay, Abhishek. Okay. Open source, Babu, with it and easy use. GitLab, as I said, it is used for DevOps pipelines. GitHub is purely source code management, and also GitHub also has GitHub Actions. Okay, very, very important topic. Stages of Git. Say that. Online, put it in the chat. Very, very important. Stages of Git. So the first stage here is, we call it as working directory. Say that. We already learned this. Yes or no? Working directory meaning where we write the source code. No, when I'm saying code, it can be your normal file also, Java files also, Python files also, any files. When I'm saying here code meaning, it can be anything. Consider as a file. So what is the first one here? First stage is working directory. Very important. Number 2. So number 2 here is staging area. See that? See that, everyone? Staging area. Where we track the code. Where we track the code. Next. Number 3 is repository. Repository. Where we store the tracked code. Where we store the tracked code. Number 4, finally here is remote repository. Remote repository. Where we store the code in a remote location. Remote location meaning our which one? GitHub. Okay, these are the 4 stages. Everyone, very, very important in Git. These 4 stages are bhayanak important. Without knowing this, you cannot use the Git at all. Okay, so you know the first stage. Code where? It's okay. 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 Now you say. Okay. You are concentrating a lot on me. So one mistake. Okay, fine. Okay, stages of Git, very, very important. What is the first stage? Working directory. Whenever you go in your laptop, first you will be in your working directory or not. Working directory meaning it can be anywhere. It can be in desktop also. You can create a separate directory also. Let's say in your laptops, if you want to create a Java files, you create some directory or not. Let's say you want to store movies. You create a directory called movies. The movies is a working directory. And wherever you are working the code, that directory is called working directory. Understood? So where we write the source code. Where we write the source code is what in here? Working directory. Next is what? Staging area. Now assume that you created a index.html. Say that you created a file in index.html. Where in your working directory. In working directory, you created a index.html. Okay. And this index.html need to be tracked or not? By default, it is tracked. No. So what? Whenever by default it will not be tracked, you need to tell to the Git, hey Babu Git, track it. For that, we need to use a command called git init. Say that. It can be one file also, it can be thousands of files also. By default, it will not be tracked. It is a normal directory. It is a normal directory. And if you want, hey Git, please track my code, then what you need to use? Git init only one time. How many times? One time. So git init one time. Next time, it's whatever in this directory that you create the files, by default, everything is tracked. Everything is tracked. You create, you modify, you delete, everything will be tracked. But what's the first command that you should use? Git init. Okay. After git init, I told you that. What is the shortcut that I told you? ACP. Say that. Say that, everyone. ACP. Now tell me. So now clearly, once you do the git init, my index.html is tracked or not? So I have done coding. I have completed the coding in index.html. So we need to tell to the git, hey git, I'm done with the code. So git will say, okay, give it to me. So we are submitting. We are giving to the git meaning where the code is getting tracked. So for that, what's the command that we need to use? Say that git add. Say that git add. For every command that you write, git is in front of it. Git is mandatory. So whenever you add git add, your code is in the which area? Staging area. Which area here? Staging area. Git add meaning the code will be in which area? Staging area. Correct, finish. Okay now. So now your coding is in the staging area or not? Everyone. Your file is in which area now? Staging. Now tell me your file is in working directory only, but you have given to the git by using which command? Git add. Now what you need to do? Repository. What is the next stage here? Repository. Which repository? Local repository. I need to write that. Which repository is here? Local repository. I told you that in your laptop also there will be a local repository or not? Which is managed by whom? Git. Which is managed by here? Git. See? Local repository. Which is managed by Git. So here we need to submit to that local repository or not? So for that you tell me what's the command? Exactly. What's the command? Everyone say git commit. Commit. Next. So now your file is in where? In your local repository. Where is your file? Local repository. That meaning you are done. You added to the Git and you committed. That meaning you are done. Wash your hands. Done. So but your code is where? Still in your local machine. What do you need to do now? Push. What's the command? Now what's the command? Git push. What's the command? That's why I said ACP. Nowhere in the world might have told this ACP logic. Hey, online experienced people, yes or no? Appreciate, yeah. Right? So when I was writing all these things, I was thinking to my student, what kind of shortcut should I tell to remember? Right? Okay, well explain. Right? What is that Nana course? Even in Nana course, it's not there. I don't know what is Nana course. Yeah, fine. So git add, git commit, and then, oh really? My comment on Nana. Okay, they have kept Nana as a YouTube channel also. Okay, thank you. I don't know. But yeah, I don't have any YouTube channels. Okay, fine. So okay, then see. Yeah. So do you all understood here? These are super important when you are traveling with the Git here. Okay. Tell me how many stages are there mainly here? 4 stages. Say with me everyone, how many stages are there? 4 stages. What are those? First one is working directory. By default, where you write the code is called here in a working directory. Next, what you have? Staging. Once you're done with the code, once you complete with the code, what do you need to do? You need to stage it. What do you need to use? Stage it. Say that. Stage, unstage. Say that. Stage, unstage. Stage meaning sending to the next level. Unstage meaning going back to the working directory. We have topics coming in. Stage, unstage. Stage meaning sending to the staging area. Unstage meaning moving back to the working directory. How to unstage? There is a commands for it. So in this Git, all we'll be doing is learning these commands. Okay, now tell me. So working directory, initially what we need to do? We need to do git init. So once you do the git init, everything will be tracked. Now once you have completed the code, what do you need to do? Git add. You need to use git add. Once you use git add, that means the code will be in the staging area. So once that is in staging area, that meaning you need to commit it, right? So that you are just saying that committing it. That meaning once you committed, you will not use your own words, right? Okay, sorry, committed, right? So similarly here also, once you committed, that means it is stored in your local repository. It is storing the entire data in local repository. Now is it good to store that in a local repository here? No. For that reason, what we are doing? We are doing the push here next. Push to where here? To the remote repository. Remote repository is nothing but here Git. Git online is clear enough? Very important. So here GitHub alternatives. So GitHub alternatives. So what are the GitHub alternatives? You can use GitLab. You can use Bitbucket. You can use SourceForge, right? And you can use AWS code. Remember, code commit. Remember, I told you in the overview section. So in AWS we have the code commit. So these are alternatives. So if you don't want to use GitHub, then you can go for the things. And is this clear online? Still here? This paint is super important. I'm telling you, super important. So what you need to do first? Git init. What's the first you need to do? Git init. After git init, what you need to do? Git add. After that, what you need to do? Git commit. After that, what you need to do? Git push. Super. ACP you need to do. Okay, see here. I'll take the real time example now. Now you are very good in the Git now already. So let us do this now. Let's copy day 1, day 2, day 3. See, listen carefully. Module 1 And this developer 1. And who is our first developer? Yeah. Vansha. Okay, let's go for Vansh. Okay. Now tell me. So these are the 3 developers. They are working in my project. I'm their manager. You tell me, is it good to keep the code in the local machine? Is it good to use LVCS, CVCS, DVCS? Which one? DVCS. Very good. So DVCS meaning here, what we need to do is it good to keep? You need to keep one version of the code here. So okay. So for that, what is the tool that we are using here? Git. What's the tool? This is JS laptop. This sorry, Vansh laptop. So here, what they need to do now? They need to first install Git. Yes or no? Online, everyone. First, what they need to do? They need to install the Git or not? First, install Git. Install Git. After that, what they need to do? They need to Git. What's the command? Init. First, what they need to do? Git init. Okay. After that, Git init. What they need to do? Git add. Very good. After that, what they need to do? Git commit. So is it only one developer or all developers need to do the same thing? Yes, all developers need to do the same thing. Now what they need to do? They need to push, right? So, laptop. What they need to do now? They need to push where? Push where? Central repository. So here we have the central repository. What we have here? Central repository. In olden days, what we used to do is we have Git server. What's that? I'm just going back to my olden days. What we have here? Say that everyone. Git server. Server. This is managed by whom? Me only. Managed by Real. Okay. So that meaning I am manually managing the Git server. And what these people are doing, this developer, they are pushing. What they are doing? They are pushing the code to where? To the Git server. I'm telling you all possible scenarios. See, once you learn any tool, you should not look back. Okay. So here we have the Git server. So Git server meaning here I am maintaining the repos or not? I am maintaining the repos. And what this developer they're doing? They are pushing. What they're doing? They are push. Where they're pushing to the Git server. These guys are happy. These people are happy. These guys happy or not happy? Online it is happy or not happy. You know what kind of things that I get in my mind? What if Git server crashed? Every day in the midnight I used to get these dreams. What about security? What about maintenance? What about suddenly I get any issues? What about performance issues? Remember I wrote a lot of things in RDS issues? Wild dreams I get, yes. Karthik, yeah, I can relate to this. You understand? You understand? Previously, we used to manage these Git servers. Not only Git, as I'm saying it, previously we have different softwares that we used to manage it, right? So here we had the Git servers where we are maintaining these repos manually, but we already have a tension that what happens if this goes down. For that reason, we are not using this anymore. For that reason, now we are happy because what we have here? GitHub. So now I'm not pushing to the Git server anymore. I'm pushing directly to GitHub. I'm pushing directly to whom? GitHub. Because it is managed by the cloud and it is owned by Microsoft. It's owned by whom? Microsoft, and it is completely cloud based. Since 2018, they're handling it, if I remember. Right? So what they're doing here, they are pushing it. Sorry. Clear? Online clear? You understand the realistic scenarios? Super. You guys are enjoying, right? No. With it. Yeah. And I'll tell you now, guys, it's already. I didn't even, in AWS I'm completing, but DevOps it is going on, right? Yeah, don't worry, 5 more minutes, huh? Because we need to finish it. Tomorrow we'll, yeah. See here. This is the working directory. Say that. Online it is 5 more minutes, huh? Because you are in the mood. Right? Yeah. So working directory. This is what? Working directory. Now what we need to do first, inside the working directory, what you need to do first? Git, what's the command you need to use? Say that. Git init. Very good. You need to do multiple times, only one time. Only one time. In that every directory you need to do one time. So git init. After that, what you need to do? Git add. Next, what you need to do? Git commit. Next, what we need to do? Git push. Push to where? What is it called? GitHub. What is it? GitHub repo. So here, git commit. Where are you committing? This is a local repository or not? Git commit. Where are you doing? Say that. Local repository. Which is your remote repository? GitHub. This is remote repository. Right? And where is the staging area? From GitHub, you are committing to where? Right? You're committing, right? So this is called what area? Staging area. I get it. So here I have here 100 files. Do I need to track all 100 files? No, in my wish. Whichever the files that I want to track, I'll track it and push it to, I've added to one local repository. Put it to everyone with it. Okay? See. By this, you should be bloody clear on this. Believe me, guys, if you get this kind of KT, as Vidit said, in real time, you'll become pro till now. So this is called working directory. Say that. What is this? This is staging area. And this is what here? Local repository. Yes or no? Stages. And this one is remote repository. Okay. Now tell me, what you need to do from here to here? Git, what's the command? Init will do here it itself. Git init. And from here, what's the command? Fantastic. What's the command? Git add. From staging area to local repo, if you want to send, what's the command that you use? Fantastic. Fantastic. What's that? Git commit. And from local repository to here, which command that you use? Git push. If you want to get the code from here to here, what's the command that you use? Git. What's it? Simple. Chalo, you understood it now. Bas, khatam. This is the whole concept of about the Git. Clear? Git in one class. I'm telling you, Git will people will teach you 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, not required. I'm telling you, every tool that I'll be teaching you in the DevOps will be like this only, and then I will not be teaching like this there. No, only once. Guys, you have to be on the point. My experienced people, yes or no? Did we cover everything here? The whole concepts? Hold on. We still have the Git is not completed. The core concept of Git is completed. From tomorrow onwards, what we do? We'll work on the commands. So somebody is asking what is Git stash and everything. Git restore, Git checkouts, branchings, mergings, everything will be like. But the core concept is this. I want you to work on this concept, and then from tomorrow onwards, tomorrow we have class. Yeah. Watch out Google Classroom for any kind of updates, but maximum we have class. Okay. So watch out. And then from tomorrow onwards, what we do? We will go with the practicals, which is super important. Okay, ma? Yes, I already said. Tomorrow, same evening class, same time. Okay. But if there are any changes or any update, please watch the Google Classroom, right? And then I'll be updating there just in case any. Want to take the screenshots? Okay. So next. Vivek, thank you, Vivek. Please don't care about the number of days. Okay, sir, वहाँ पे Git 10 दिन पढ़ाया, and it's not about the number of days. How much concept is injected in your brain nicely, and you tell me this topic that you have learned today will be dragged for 3 days. Online, back me up, yes or no? Experienced people. See, online people are saying this topic, whatever you have learned today, will be dragged for 3 days. But nicely, aram se slowly, I have taught you everything in one day, simply, smoothly. Make the important things. Okay. Yeah. Next. Okay, not this. Yeah, this. Yeah, Dinesh. Don't worry, I'll upload, but take the screenshot for now. Please go through it. Before coming to tomorrow class, I want you to revise all these things and come. Okay. And the last. And last, this slide is very important. Thank you, Joseph. Okay, Nana. Can I get the final CC for today, please? Please continue. Smiley symbol for this DevOps. Smile, CC with smile. And emojis. So that is all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with the Git practicals. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.